Ideas, 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 ideas. Oh my God, our heads are full of them, aren't they? If your head is anything like mine, it is absolutely full of ideas. Now, sometimes we grab those ideas, we run with them, and we grab a URL, we launch a business, we create a new product, we might create a new marketing campaign, and off we go with our ideas. But unfortunately, a lot of times the problems arise very quickly and the idea fails. What do we do to stop this happening? We can look at Stephen King in his book that he wrote about writing a book, and this book is called On Writing. In the book, Stephen King says that what you should do with a book once you've written it, you do your draft and you redraft and draft. Once you've finished it, you open the drawer to your desk, you put it in there, you close the drawer, and you leave it. How long do you leave it for? You leave it not for an hour, not for a day, not for a week, but he suggests for months. Sometimes as long as 6 months, if not even a year. He says just leave it, it has to curate. Now that's an interesting concept, to let a book curate. A book is, after all, really an idea. So you're letting the idea curate. What happens when you go back, he said, is that some magic happens. When you go back, all of a sudden you look at the book with a different perspective. It's had time to permeate through all the little parts of your brain that it needs to go, and you look at it afresh and you'll modify it accordingly. Now, with business ideas, now I've been a bandit for this. I've launched everything from an online mortgage brokerage to a women's fashion line. And along the way, I've learned that you get all excited and you don't give it time to sit. What I've been doing recently is grabbing my ideas, doing a little bit with them, and then just leaving them, letting them rest and see what happens. Often when I go back, the overarching emotion is boredom. It's like, oh, that wasn't so good. And I let it go. Other times the idea hangs around. Now at the moment I've got an idea that's hung around for a couple of months. I'm looking at a business called Toolbox Tomorrow, which is to give small businesses access to the tools that big businesses have got access to. So it's everything from technological solutions to ways of managing and strategizing. That idea has been sitting with me for many, many, many months. I did a whole spurt of work, left it, I haven't touched it, haven't gone back to it, and all of a sudden today, I opened it back up again and I thought, this is the Stephen King curation model at its actual best. What has actually happened is that I've gone back into it with even more enthusiasm and more excitement about what's ahead for it. So I'm starting to think it's a good idea, but I've also retooled it. It doesn't look like it did exactly when I first had the idea many months ago, and I think that's a good thing. So I'd implore you to let your idea sit a little. I know there's this huge rush to go, like, I've got to get to the market quickly, got to get it done. Yes, but usually it's not that much of a rush as you think it is. Even if your boss is screaming down your neck, even if there's a competitor about to launch, it's often not as urgent as it usually you imagine it to be. Now, sometimes you just have to do stuff and have to do it quickly. Granted, understand that. But that's not 100% of the time. Those times you don't have to act like that, don't. Let it sit, let it curate. I'm Stephen DiPietro. Thanks again for tuning in.